Greetings and good morning. It is Amashandra, Sanahata Amashandra, and I'd like to welcome you to the Sacred Mother Portal. This morning I have an interesting conversation, and I'm finding it also relevant that yesterday's topic was yearning. So today the conversation is on frustration. As a part of the Sacred Mother Portal, I tend to enter into topics that I feel, and somehow or another, the people who join me tend to have resonance with the same conversation. So I'm really grateful to be here with you all. It's a good day. It's a good day to talk and to share. So grand rising to everyone. Great greetings, and I wish you well. And as we get started, I invite you into breath. Whenever you come in and you connect with me, it's important to me to talk to you about breath. I will always speak to you about breath because I know the power of intentional breathing, pausing and taking those breaths in and letting them out to bring yourself back into your body. What do I mean by bring ourselves back into our body? Many of us will often find ourselves in our head and going a mile a minute, not aware that we might be breathing very shallow, barely breathing. And in that barely breathing space, we don't have as much opportunity to connect in with the depth of our feelings, the depth of our body. And so my intention in welcoming you and inviting you into breath before we begin is so that we can see if something resonates. So and what I mean, it resonates, vibrates in you. Something that I say vibrates in you, for good or for bad, for good or for bad. But you can't tell unless you can feel it. So let's go into our bodies following sacred breath. And we'll take in like 3 breaths, nice deep breaths. And when we do these breaths, these conscious and intentional breaths, I would like for you to do the work of taking that breath all the way down. Breathe in as deeply as you can and allow it to go all the way in and hold it there. When we get our breath in, it feels so good. And when we let it, and then we're ready to let it go, like I got to breathe out. And you got to breathe out, you got to let it go in order to receive yet again. So it's a perfect metaphor for how life flows, which is part of why I speak about breath. So join me now. Let's take it a nice deep breath. And hold it. Now release that breath out. Now leave it out. Now breathe in. Completely filling your lungs. And when you breathe out, I want you to breathe every bit out. So now let's breathe out. Leaving it out. Now let's breathe in. And out. And I don't know about you, but when I do nice deep breaths, breathing in and out, I find that my body tingles. And for me, that lets me know that I'm back in and that I might have been out. It's very easy to get caught in our head and our mind and not realize when we're not in our body. So our breath and just breathing in and out gives us a chance to connect into our body. So now our conversation, and it's going to be brief today, because that's how I feel. I'm saying that. We'll see what happens when I open my mouth, right? The conversation today on frustration as an aspect of the human condition. You will find me right now speaking a lot more about what it means to be in our bodies as it relates to working in the light, working in the dark, working in the known and the unknown as a human, right? Some of us have this idea or ideal that we're supposed to be somehow or another beyond our flesh. And we can become masters of our flesh, but being beyond our flesh, it's outside of the human conditioning until we move into mastery, right? So as we send out these connections to what it means to be divine and human in a human form, we have to understand what our physical body may be going through. And so yesterday we spoke of yearning. Today we're going to speak about frustrations, which is similar to yearning. They're not far away from each other. In fact, yearning can lead you to frustration, but frustration can stand on its own. Frustration can stand on its own. This morning, my frustration stood on its own. My child has decided to take over my bedroom, and so she sleeps with me. And that's not a bad thing, except it's not her room, it's mine. And so all of my things are here. And now her things are here. And it's becoming a little complicated for me. In the other part of the home, there's a separate bathroom apart that she can be in. But she chooses to be in my space. And I get it. I love it. I love her. I understand it, right? But I'm recognizing that I feel frustration. I feel frustration because I really have a need that I have not addressed. Frustration often arises from the spirit of unmet needs. Oftentimes needs that we're not even conscious of because we are outside of our bodies. We're moving and we're seeing this thing, and this thing is causing this in us over here, and that's vibrating us, but we can't even address what the truth of it is. I was considering the idea of gaslighting today and how in my childhood I reframed, in my young adulthood, 20s, 30s, I reframed a lot of my childhood, right? To find the good things because I would only look at the bad things. And so I went on a quest to find the good things of my childhood. And as a part of that journey, I reframed, which meant that, oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that, it was this, and we had this, and I loved to watch the clouds, and, I remember the time, the hot air balloons, and I would read books all the time, and I would be out in nature watching the ants crawl, and I was so independent, and I talk about those things. I didn't talk as much about the difficult things, and I had someone tell me, I witnessed how you have been gaslit, and I said, huh? I had to, it took my breath away. And I realized that this experience in my childhood that someone witnessed in me in my relationships as an adult spoke to me again about this idea of frustration. Because it's hard to be self-aware when you're out of your body. And when you have difficulty accepting your own self, your own work, the things that you have done. So many times people gaslight people they're frustrated with because they don't know the words to say. They don't know quite what to do. So they're acting out this energy, right? As a parent now, who was once a little girl, I deal with my little girl, me and my little girl and I, myself, meaning the little girl that is me still inside of this body, whose memories, feelings, thoughts, and, experiences still impact me to this day. That little girl that's still in me, we're getting closer. As I revisit different aspects of myself, when I realize my 2, 3-year-old is showing up. My toddler is showing up and does not want to share. My 8-year-old is saying, I just don't want to. I don't want to do it. I don't want to, but I don't want to. No reason. 8-year-olds have no reason for why they don't want to do things. Sometimes my 13-year-old quiet, like I don't know what's going on, and I'm just moody blues. 16. My 16-year-old moody blues show the fuck up sometimes. And now I've been able to soundtrack it. Like one of my moodiness soundtracks was the other day I was talking to a friend of mine, someone I care very deeply about, and the conversation was around, this is my 16-year-old. Wow, I'm frustrated, and my 16-year-old is in her room with the door closed listening to sad music. And they were like, what song is your and I didn't even, I was like, I can tell you the song. My 16-year-old is singing, I'll sing it for you so you can get the feeling. I never dreamed you leave in summer. I thought you would go, then come back home. I never dreamed you leave in summer. Anyway, but now I find myself all alone. Anyway, forgive my not so great notes. That's my inner perfectionist coming out, right? But that being said, she showed up in my frustration, unmet need. She had a need. I have a need. And I experienced that past experience of it. And so frustration is a part of the human condition. Breath gives us the space to connect with where that might be resonating in our body. And maybe if we open up our mouth, the words of what that frustration may be will come out. Now, even for those people who are gaslighting because of their frustration or their desire to control and minimize, which I'm not going to deny, gaslighters will control and minimize. And so I do know that when we can recognize the parts of ourselves that are showing up in these moments, we can find the wisdom. That's the word. We have knowledge. Now let's apply the wisdom, which is that knowledge applied in a way that can be beneficial for you and others. When we apply that wisdom, we can then recognize that this person may not be self-aware of their impact. And it's not our job to coach them through it. But I will tell you that if it's in family, it is to our benefit to find a way to settle, resolve, work through these things within ourselves. And even in the spirit world, writing down your journals, sitting and talking and working through it so that it no longer is such a sensitive spot. Like I could tell you now to touch your body, everyone could find a sensitive spot, like without thought. I can go right here and push in a little bit and be like, yep, there it is. There's a spot that hurts. Right there. I didn't have to think about it. I wasn't thinking about pain before that. So we all have our sensitive spots, and working through it is how we take out the inflammation. We take out the heat. We resolve the heat in those spaces so that the ability for it to frustrate us may not be at, 100. We can bring it down to it's a minor frustration and it's okay. And then we can make sure that we are working with our boundaries. We can work with our boundaries. We can work with our time. Sometimes we have to put boundaries in time, right? I can't spend much time with them because of my own self. So I'll give you what I have and then I'm going to move forward. But frustration is when we can recognize that it is human to be frustrated. Maybe we can cut ourselves some slack when we show out. And maybe those people who are not cutting us some slack can simply understand, look, I'm frustrated right now. I got a lot going on. I need some space. I need you to give me time. And they may not be able to deal with that because of their own abandonment issues, their own stuff. But that's their stuff. And while you can love them through their stuff, it is not your responsibility right now in your frustration to cater to them, because then it begins to put you into another not so effective, not so healthy pattern. So this process of working through the human condition often means being able to hear better than what the person is saying, hear their frustration, like, oh, that's, you can hear them better than the words that they're using. It also means being able to speak better than, working on your words and working on your hearing, so that you can be someone who tries to use the best words. And even when they're not so good, maybe the person listening can hear, I hear deeper than the words that are coming through. This is an increasing in our sensitivity that can come from our gift of self-awareness. I've not always been very self-aware, even when I thought I was. I've had scenarios where I've had people tell me, and walking into places just clueless, and there was pain going on, and I didn't know. And I'm just home, and not realizing what the other was going through. So we can all be oblivious at times, and if that's a pattern, it can create frustration for people who we know and love. However, when we know that love is real, which is why I've said so many times that the path is through the heart. When we know that love is real, we can use that at times to give ourselves enough of that space, the gap, just enough of a gap to say, love is real. And even though I can't be around them right now, I'm not going to squish the love out. I'm not going to let this take over. I'm going to know that they are still someone who is deserving of love, even if they're not deserving, even if I cannot offer them my time at this time. And that's really almost, that love becomes a space holder for when you might be able to resolve it, when they may grow, when you can understand that there was good, there is good, there were positives. We can find our way there. And why is this important? In the family dynamic, especially, it is the richest, most fertile soil for growth and development. Many of us can be so much better and healthier with strangers than we can be with the people in our own families. Because we know intrinsically it's a safe space. It should be a safe space. And so people just act out whatever's there. And someone in the family, the mother, the father, sometimes it's the son, the daughter, sometimes it's the baby. Sometimes people have a child and wake up to their own jerkdom. I've been a jerk. Yeah, you have. I've been clueless. You can see people's eyes light up like, you see? I haven't been listening to you. Next thing you know, they're crying. No, I've been trying to say this. So many times we hear, based on the 16-year-old or the 8-year-old or the 21-year-old or whoever's in control of you at whatever age you're in, they are the ones who are dealing with their pain, wanting to come out and slap people. And you're always doing this. And they're like, this is always? When it really is that other person speaking. That's the gold in working through these things in our family dynamics. We have to move beyond this idea that it's okay for me to simply be how I am. This is just how I am, I know. But just like the seasons change, so too should humans. We don't want to just get older in body, but not older in mind and thought and application of how we move through our lives. That can cause frustration for people who know and love you. They're still doing the same thing, man. Yeah, I just can't, man. It's the same thing. I mean, I love them, but, and you may find this is why there's been isolation. I love them, but, and there'll be people frustrated with you because you're growing. Why they always got to be so different? Why can't they just eat like regular people? It's going to be a dance, brothers and sisters of the light. It's going to be a dance. And because this dance will continue to unfold, the seasons and the expectation of where we are and what we're doing, it's so rich in each and every now moment. So brothers and sisters, I'm going to play these bowls. I'm not even going to pull a card today. I was doing decks. I had a few readings to do yesterday. And so today I'm not pulling a card. Well, I'll think about it. On the energy of frustration, I just want you all to know, brothers and sisters of the light, it will be a dance with yourself. And when you feel it, you'll notice if it's in your belly. You'll notice if it's in your head. You'll notice if it's your ears. You'll notice if it's your body. You'll notice if it's hot. You'll notice if it's cold. You'll notice your body. And in that self-awareness, it can lead you to the feeling of where this originated from and possibly give you space to move forward. I see someone saying, I'm having a hard time letting it go. I feel like I can't be friends with them anymore. How can I let it go? Girl, just like you let that breath, breathe in, hold it in. Does it feel good in that frustration? Does it feel good in your body? Then it must be composted out. You take those scraps and you give them to the earth. You vent to the earth. Say it. Get it out of your mouth. Vent it into the earth. Write it down on paper. Sing it out. Scream. My little girl was in the car yesterday and she was frustrated because she wanted something right then. And I was like, look, I feel like I'm shaking. I want to scream. I was like, well, scream into that blanket. Scream into the blanket, no problem. And she screamed, and she screamed, and she screamed, and then she stopped. And I said, you feel better? She's like, I do. I was like, exactly, get it out. And this way you can give that space. And I know I have people who I have loved. I have at least 2 people in my life who I still mourn the changes in our relationship. Because love still lives. See, that's the thing about it. The love will still live. The love will still live. And you honor that love. Even if you can't make new love with the person. And that's some hard shit. I have at least one person who right now I would cry. Because I love them. And I remember when our relationship changed and there wasn't much I could do about it. And it was during a very vulnerable time in my life that this person who I thought I would be old sitting on a rocking chair with as my friend. I thought it would be on the rocking chair as my friend. But breath and time. And so now I can still say I love this person, but I don't trust them. I don't trust how our relationship can be. And so I love them from a distance, and I love our memories, and I love our moments, and who knows what life will bring. I didn't know that life would bring them back into my life anyway, that they would seek to resolve that place. We'll give it time, right? That's all we have. But no need to not let the love that you shared, don't need to squander it and put it on the altar. It can still be there even if you can't make new love with them. And I know it's hard. I don't say this as someone who has not. Breath and time, exactly. breath and time, and allowing for the expansion that great love did live, yet you had someone who was like a sister. And there may be more people who will come into your life like sisters and like brothers and like family and like friends that you least expect. And you cherish that because you cherish that, and you're not carrying into that new space the feeling that they're going to leave too. You can carry it with the fact that that was then, and now this is something new. And you'll know how to treat it with care. And maybe they too will know how to treat it with care. We've lived long enough that when we make new friends, it feels good. And that's all anyone can do. Keep practicing. That's why they call it a practice, right? We just keep going, right? We just keep going. So let's take a deep breath in, brothers and sisters of the light. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Feel in your body as you breathe in. Move, spiral, shake, rock, stretch. Feel your body as you breathe in and breathe out. One of the messages that is coming through right now is an old saying of a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And though we may carry memories for lifetimes, sometimes the presence, the moment, is only for that moment. And you get a chance to know how deep your love was, where you say, I absolutely love this person. I've had that happen where I found that I loved someone after the relationship had changed. So this is why I speak to us about how we can hopefully find ways to resolve and at least let the waters grow calm and the love live in there richly. So we're not those people who are finding out how much they love the person once they're gone. Do you know how many people have only found out how much they love the person once they were gone in the physical? So let's just know that love is real and that it's okay to mourn love changed. Breaking up in relationships, friendships, it can be as devastating as any divorce, as any severed relationship. But my path has always been to know that love lived. And when I received that message, I've held on to it. Just because we're not making new love anymore and new memories doesn't mean I don't cherish those old ones. Doesn't mean that we didn't make love. We were love. You and your friend were love. Even as you move forward. In letting go, you don't have to let it go. You just put it up in this place. You put it there as you go about the business of living life without that person right in the center of it. And that's the work. And we have no choice but to go through it. They're not there. And maybe, like I said, in my situation, my friend came back. And when they did, it was different. But I was glad to at least know that I could call them and we could talk. And that love was still real and living between the both of us. So let's play these bowls, brothers and sisters. We're going to play some bowls. In fact, who do I want to play? Who do I want to play? Breathe in. Try again. Try again. Try again. Try again. Try again. Perfection gets me in trouble all the time. Wanna make it right, wanna let my little light shine. Breathe out, breathe in. That devil frustration keeps finding itself on my back. Gonna breathe out and breathe in. Then I feel in my heart and know that the love is real and the tears start to fall. Breathe out, breathe in. Yes, it went to my heart and I had to cry out. Didn't know that the frustration was my pain. Breathe out and breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Try again. Try again. Cry again. Cry again. Rise again. Rise again. Rise again. Rise again. I rise again. Yeah. I love again. Yeah. Inside of each of us is divinity. We know it and we yearn for it and we reach for it. It is the space in which we wish and yearn to occupy. As we move through the lessons and the messages of our blood, bones, tissues, tears. As we move through their lessons, we find our way spiraling higher and higher. This is the journey back to our heart, which is the journey back to ourselves. There is great love in this world for all of us. And we do the work of rediscovering it every day. So in respect of the divine teacher frustration and who we are as humans and divinity, I greet you on this journey. May it be a teacher to us, and may we find our way back to our heart and to love. Blessings, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace and blessings.